Good morning, Mary Stones here from Change is Always Possible. I'm going to show you how to tap to help yourself. It's a technique called EFT or Emotional Freedom Technique. It's fantastic at lowering our stress level, and yeah, the science has shown that it lowers the cortisol level in your blood. It changes the brain, waves related to stress. So it's really worth trying, and I would like to make that opportunity available to you. So first thing is it's good to have a pen and paper handy. So if you don't have one at the moment, pause the video and get one. Okay, so this video is to help people who are feeling frightened and anxious anytime, but particularly just now. And what I'd like you to do, first of all, is to take a moment to breathe. So put your hand on your heart. You might like to close or lower your eyes. And I just want you to take a breath in and a breath out. Just make your breath in and out the same length. It might be to a count of 5 or 6, whatever feels right for you. And then what I'd like you to do is to imagine that you're actually breathing in and out through your heart area or your chest. And that's where the breath is coming in to that heart space and going out of that heart space. And then I want you to just notice what is going on in your body. When you think about what you're anxious about, what you're frightened about, what you're worried about, what do you notice in your body? So for some people, it might be that your mind is racing. Feel like there's a million thoughts flying around in your brain. Some people might feel some kind of tension in their chest. Might have noticed that your heart is beating faster or harder. You might have some kind of fluttering in your tummy, tension in your body somewhere. So just notice what it is for you. And then I'd like you to give it a score from 0 to 10, where 0 is there's no response, no fear, no anxiety. And 10 is the most intense it could be. So that's what I want you to write down. So write down, what are you feeling? Worried, anxious, fearful, whatever word you would give for the feeling that you have. Write down where it is in your body and what intensity it has. And then just closing your eyes again or focusing on that part of the body, I want you to notice if there was a colour associated with that feeling or some other kind of sensation, shape, sound, what would it be? And write that down. Okay, so I'm going to do a sort of generic tapping, but what I want you to do is to use your words, what you've written down on your piece of paper. Replace what I'm saying with that language, because it's really important when we're using EFT to be specific and specific to the person, and makes it more effective. And then we're going to tap, and what I want you to do is just copy me. So I'm going to do something, you copy it. I'm going to speak, you speak, copying what I'm saying, but using your language that you've written down. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's go. So starting either hand, whichever feels comfortable, we tap on this part of the hand, the side of the hand, like this. Some people do it that way, but just gently tapping. Doesn't have to be really hard. We don't want to hurt ourselves, but firm enough to feel it. On the side of our hand, and we say, even though, and just repeat after me, I have this worry. And you're just saying whatever it is that your feeling is. And I can feel it in my tummy. You're saying where you can feel it. It feels red and messy. Whatever way you describe the feeling that you have in whatever part of your body. But right now, I'm okay. So we're going to do that again. So even though I have this worry in my tummy, this red, messy worry, right now, I'm okay. Again, a third time, even though I have this worry in my tummy, this red, messy worry in my tummy, right now, I'm okay. Okay, and then we start by tapping on the top of our head, on the crown of our head. Some people do it with the flat of the hand, some people do it with a little sort of claw. So just gently tapping on the top of your head if that feels comfortable. If it doesn't, don't tap on the top of your head. Do it much more gently. And then we say, this worry in my body. And tapping on the end of your eyebrow closest to your nose or to the center of your head. This red worry in my tummy. And then the outside edge of your eye on the bone. This messy red worry in my tummy. And under the eye on the bone. So you just can use just 2 fingers, tapping gently. All this worry in my body. And under your nose. All this anxiety and fear in my body. And on your chin. This anxiety in my, and you just say which part of your body it's in. This anxiety that feels like, what does it feel like for you? Just repeat. So it could be this messy red anxiety in my tummy. It might be tightness like an elastic band in my chest. So you just say whatever it is for you. And here we're tapping on the collarbone point. So we have our collarbones come along towards the middle. And we have a kind of nodule there. We just drop back diagonally slightly till we find there's a dip some of us have there, and we're tapping on that point. So I usually use like a little claw. Some people tap like this across their collarbones. And then the last point that we're going to tap on is under the arm. So for women, it's your bra line here. And for men, that's about 10 centimeters or so under your arm. So this anxiety in my body. So we'll just go around again, using your own words to replace mine. So this anxiety and fear in my body, this red anxiety in my tummy, this messy red anxiety in my tummy, all this anxiety and worry in my body, this messy red anxiety in my tummy, this worry and anxiety in my body, all this worry in my body. And then under the arm, all this anxiety in my tummy. And then we take a gentle breath and we check. So just tune in again, check that part of your body, check the feeling. Does it still feel the same? Would you give it the same score out of 10? Or would you give it something else? And for some people, it might have stayed the same. For some people, it might have come down. And there may be some of you that the intensity has increased. And what this is showing is that we're tuning into the feeling, because it's very easy to be, especially when we're frightened and anxious and worried, to get into a kind of panic and a bit of a manic state and running around trying to do stuff. And we're not really in touch with how we're feeling. So tapping can help us to tune into that feeling. And the tapping, and I'm just going to tap through the points, and you can do it with me now as I'm talking to you. Tapping on these points while we tune into the feeling that we're feeling, while we acknowledge to ourselves the actual facts of the matter, while we tell ourselves the truth about what we're feeling and where we're feeling it in our body, this tapping gives our body the message to calm. We're tapping on meridian points, which some of you might be aware of from acupuncture. So these are end points of meridians in our body. And this tapping on them helps to clear any blocked energy, helps things to flow better. And as I said before, the research shows that it actually has a biological impact on the body that is calming. So I really recommend you having a go at doing this tapping. It's really helpful, and I'm sure by now you can see that it's actually really easy. And if you can't quite remember what we did, you can listen to the video again, or you can go onto my website, which is www.changeisalwayspossible.com. And there's a resources section there. And in the resources section, there's a how to tap guide. So you can follow that. And just remember, the key things are, what am I feeling? Where am I feeling it in my body? How would I describe that feeling in my body? Color, shape, intensity. And then the actual intensity of the feeling. So that's that 0 to 10 scale. And 0, there's no feeling. 10's the most intense it can be, so you score it. Then you do what we call the setup phrase, even though I have this feeling and problem. right now I'm okay. And you repeat that 3 times while you're tapping on the side of your hand. And then using the same words, you tap round the points on your body. So it's like, it's emotional first aid. And you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to get anything. You don't need anybody else because you've got it at your fingertips. So hopefully that's been helpful. And my plan is to do some group webinar tappings. So if you wanted to know more about those, probably the best thing to do would be to subscribe on my website, and then I'll send out a notification to people on the mailing list when I'm going to do a free tapping webinar to keep us all in a better state, a calmer, more healing place. Hope you find that helpful. Bye.